Hello, my friends. Welcome to another great day where we're going to talk about being a leader. How can you do it no matter what? Like, no matter who you are, no matter what your individual skills or talents are, how can you become a leader? Now, you might be thinking that there's no way I can do this. I'm here to prove you wrong. Because the thing is that anyone can become a leader. The problem is that our perception of what a leader is. When we say leader, usually we picture somebody, being in front of an army leading them to battle, or being the president, or being the CEO of a huge multi-billion dollar company. The thing is that is not a leader. A leader is simply someone who influences other people to take action. That's all a leader is. And there are 3 steps to becoming and staying a leader. The first one is to know yourself, be self-aware. Here's what that means. It means that know which way you best communicate first. Do you communicate best in a written form? Are you a writer, a blogger? Or do you maybe communicate best in audio form? Are you a podcaster? Or maybe do you communicate best in video form? Are you a YouTuber? Or maybe you communicate best in person to person, right? Maybe that means you're gonna become a public speaker, or maybe it means you'd be best off as a therapist. You're someone who works one-on-one with people to help them, to influence them to take action. That's what that means. And then not only do you have to know yourself in that regard, but you also have to know yourself in regard to who do you want to influence. A leader doesn't just influence everybody. They influence a certain type of people. We call them demographics, or in psychographics, we call them a target audience. That's a fancy way of saying that this is the general type of person that we create. So we're gonna call him Bob. He likes skiing, he likes hot dogs, he likes going out to see horror movies, right? That kind of thing is that it kind of gets like, who do we want to talk to? And as terms for me, I want to talk to teenagers, young adults, and maybe even parents, but really, focusing on, okay, I really want my message to communicate with teens because that's who I really want to influence to take action, right? That's a bit of transparency with me. That's who I'm looking at. That's who I'm trying to really influence. Of course, I want to influence everybody on the planet. But primarily, right, my focus is, okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm trying to influence teens first and then everyone else later. That's what we got to do. So now that you know how you want to influence and you know who you want to influence, you have to actually do it. You have to take, okay, I am going to start a blog. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to start speaking. And then you actually do it and you keep at it. The second step is not giving up ground. The thing is to be a quote unquote influencer or leader, right? I prefer the term leader because influencer is such a monetized term now. We're talking about a leader, someone who leads, not someone who's just in it for the money, right? Talking about an actual leader. So you got to keep at it. You got to keep up your ground. Is that it doesn't come easy. I've been doing this for 5 years, right? And I don't have millions of people following me. Don't have viral videos, right? So I'm not on the cover of magazines. So it takes time. Of course, if I put way more work into it back in those early days, I'm sure things would be a lot different now. But I'm okay with that. So numbers don't mean everything. But it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for you to really find your voice. It's going to take a while for you to gain some traction. It's going to take a while for you to build up an audience, build up a community around you, a community of people who you are influencing and leading. And so it'll take a while, but don't give up. If it's truly what you want, you've got to just do it. You've got to. You have to. You have to stick with it. The numbers will be small in the middle. Don't pay attention to the numbers. They don't mean anything. Especially in the beginning. Focus on the people that you are leading, the people you are talking to. That's what's important. Numbers don't mean anything. So you can have 1 million followers and not be helping anybody. The purpose of a leader, of a good leader, is to help. And that's where we come to the third step. The third step is to grow and continue to be a virtuous person. What I mean by virtuous person is that you yourself are living a life where you're continuing to improve as a person, right? As a person, you're just continuing to improve. And you are taking that example and you're showing it to the people you are leading. Because here's the thing, people want to improve. They want to get better, even if it doesn't rise to the surface, even if consciously they're not always thinking about how you want to improve. You can be that person, like what I do, is saying, look, here's how you can improve day after day, whatever niche you are in, whatever you're talking about. Because if you're not being a good example to these people, if you're not influencing them to take good action, then what's the point? So you can get a check from some brand who wants you to rep their stuff? Really? That's not being a leader. That's being an influencer. Being a true leader. A leader is someone who influences their followers to take good action. That is a sign of a good leader, of a true leader. And if you want to be a leader, you have to do it. You just have to. You have to commit. You have to find your voice, find where you're at. You have to keep at it. And then you have to grow as a better person. Because not only is it just good for you, but it's also good because as you grow, you continue to get better and better at what you're doing. If you're improving day after day, let's say in your writing, if you improve as a writer day after day, think about how good your writing will be in 5 years. Pretty darn good, right? So that's how you become a leader. And to illustrate all of this, I want to leave you with a story. Something, a typical story, you might see in any kind of movie, but I think it's important to illustrate this. Is somebody, right, a leader, seeing them, right? Let's say in a school. Let's take a school, and there's somebody who's sitting in a circle, right? Just sitting in a circle with everybody else. And you've probably seen this, right? You've seen this in your own life as well. I know I have. Somebody's just in a circle, they're talking, and then somebody says, hey, let's go do this, or let's go over there. He or she leaves, goes over there, and everyone follows. That's a leader. You'll see what happened there. I want you, if you're having trouble with this, if you're having trouble finding how to actually lead people, I want you to examine people like this. I want you to examine these people who are naturally born to lead, naturally born to influence people, who are so they know themselves. They're completely self-confident, completely confident in their actions and what they can do. And maybe there's a bit of ego in there too, but that's not the point. So I want you to look at those people and say, like, how did they do that? How did they get everybody to follow them? And I want you to look at them, I want you to analyze them. And if you find something interesting, I'd love to hear from it. I love to hear from you. You can leave it in the comments below, or you can email me at luke@youcan'tbeerased.com. I hope this is helpful for you. Make sure, again, right, if you find something interesting, if you have comments, if you'd like me to delve deeper into one of these steps or one of these aspects, or have questions about becoming a leader, mention it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you give this a little like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you again a little bit later. Being ashamed? Stay unashamed.